guys, this is Fade from nerffaids.blogspot.com. Just doing a quick video here. Basically, if you've already read my blog, you know about my little Faidian slips. They're the little tips at the beginning of all of the most recent blog posts. Decided I wanted to do a little video format. I've got so many random tips that I want to throw in and know where to put them, so each week I'm going to come out with one of these videos. It's going to be mostly unrelated to the actual video. That's just something pretty to look at. But it's just going to be a collection of my thoughts that didn't make it onto the blog, what I'm doing since my last blog post, etc., etc. Right now what we're doing is we're questing in what's now northern Stranglethorn Vale. It's not super important, but one thing I did want to tell you guys is that the Hyacinth Macaw and the Rizashi Hatchling are both now zone drops in the two Stranglethorn Vale zones. What this means is that while questing out here, people are going to run across parrots. It used to be that you'd have to farm very specific mobs in order to get these pets, but now random leveling people might just happen upon them. This will definitely affect the prices on the auction house, though I'm not thinking that they will be too much cheaper. The drop rate itself is not considered to have changed, it just drops in different places now. Regardless, if you're going to be running through doing these quest achievements out here like I'm doing now, be sure to make sure you loot all of the bodies here. Since the Shattering, a lot of people are rolling new alts. Those alts, of course, want lots of bag space. Netherweave bags are pretty much the way to go. A lot of people have been stockpiling netherweave cloth into bolts like myself. I hope you have too, because it's been a great thing to do. The thing is, a lot of people have been doing it, and a lot of people are panicking and selling out their stock right now for roughly 6 or 7 gold a piece on the auction house for my server. Thing is, I know they're worth more. If you can buy a lot of them for cheap, go ahead and buy them. What you're doing with that is you're lowering the amount of stock your competition's going to have in the next week, and you're also increasing your stock while raising the price on the auction house. All three good things, because in Cataclysm, in just about a week now, there's going to be even more new alts. There's going to be a lot of people who are coming back to the game, a lot of people who are rolling Worgans, and a lot of people who are rolling other characters to level with their Worgan friends. They're all going to want bags, and you're going to be there to sell it to them for 15 gold a pop, if not more. In my previous video, it was about farming Stratholme for enchanting materials. It was before the Shattering, so of course everything's turned on its head now. It is not a great place for large brilliant shards anymore. Both sides will now disenchant into small brilliant shards, which really only have one super valuable use, which is 100 health to chest, which is still nice, but not super important. What you can get there is tons of mage weave. Mage weave is one of the more expensive cloths on our server. Now granted, this change might affect that, but at the end of the day, if you need mage weave, it's a great place to get it. If you need righteous orbs, they still drop in live side. They seem to have a very similar drop rate. I'm going to make a little video about Stratholme later this week, but for the most part, that's where you go for righteous orbs and mage weave, but not a place for large brilliant shards anymore. So where do you get large brilliant shards? You get large brilliant shards in the latter half of BRD. There are other options. I experimented with lower and upper Blackrock Spire. I wanted to go hit up Dire Maul, but of course that's changed and isn't an option anymore. Lower Blackrock Spire was pretty decent. Upper Blackrock Spire had a lot of spread out bosses with way too much trash. Probably great for dust and green farming, but not so great for large brilliant shards. What they did add in the Shattering, which is really important, is they made an ability to teleport through different areas of BRD. So you can walk in the front door of BRD, and bam, there's a mole machine that will take you directly to the room after the Grim Guzzler bar. So this way, even if you don't have a Dire Brews remote, you can get there fast, and you can get a great shot at some large brilliant shards. Everything beyond the Grim Guzzler and a little bit before it will DE into a large brilliant, so it's a great place to go for that, and you'll also be getting Rune Cloth, which you may be missing since you won't be getting it from Stratholme anymore. If you're going to be leveling your own alt soon, I highly recommend leveling it with herbalism. It's going to be one of the most profitable professions to level with in regards to gathering professions. In the past, everyone's always gone mining skinning, which certainly will hold its own in Cataclysm, but with Inscription being the powerhouse it is and probably will remain being for quite a while, herbalism is going to be much more of a force to be reckoned with than it used to be. Currently, since the shattering, Jessica sellers will only trade inks down with black fallow ink. Black fallow ink, in case you don't know, isn't in the game yet. It won't be for another week when December 7th hits, and after that, it will be very expensive. People will be selling the Cataclysm herbs at topped prices, and people will usually probably go towards the actual lower level herb to mill rather than taking the higher level herb to mill and then trade down. Therefore, if you're leveling, if you grab herbalism, you'll get extra XP from hitting the herbalism nodes, and you'll also be making a lot either by selling it to them, or hey, if you don't need to have a scribe yourself, grab one, get yourself a scribe, make some good money off of it. In regards to scribes and what glyphs you should be looking at, honestly, I actually pretty much dropped out of the glyph market after Glyphmas. It was a great thing, and I was kind of ready to go, but at the same time, I recognize there's still a lot of money to be made. If I were still in the glyph market, what I would do is I'd look at your faction's particular new race that's about to come out, Goblin, Worgen, figure out what classes they're going to have, and make glyphs for that class. Most of them have a large amount of classes available to them. We're going to get Worgen of all sorts, Goblins of all sorts, so there will be a lot of classes that you're going to want. Death Knight will always be a good one to go with. And basically, anything but Paladin is probably going to be a good way to go. But Horde, keep in mind that a lot of people are going to still be rolling Tauren Paladins. So Paladin's still going to be a good seller for you. And at the end of the day, everything's going to sell. It's going to be Glyphmas 2.0 as everyone rolls brand new alts. And I just don't think you can really go wrong with glyphs. The only real pain in the ass about it, of course, is trading inks down to make those glyphs. And that's where those leveling alts with herbalism comes in. You can really make a lot with that, and I really don't think you guys should underestimate the power of low-level herbs right now. They're an amazing, amazing moneymaker. Now, with all that said, there's a whole lot more I could say. I mean, the world's effectively changed completely now. There's stuff we're still just learning. Missing recipes, brand new pets that I didn't even know about. So there's going to be a lot more to look into, and I hope to get to a lot more of it next week in Faidian Slip number 2. I hope you guys will watch it. I hope you'll check out my blog posts over at nerffaids.blogspot.com. And just generally speaking, I hope you'll let me know if you have any questions, comments, etc. I hope to see you again. Thanks very much, guys.